story about a psychotic stalker and the guy that tried to blow her off that she is stalking all across the country. It is a terrifying film that is supposed to be a comedy, but the main character is literally a psychotic stalker.
So what does that say to have that and Youth in Revolt come out so soon together?
It's something that's totally different because here the girl is interested in.
That's the one with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper. What happens?
Who was in The Hangover? It's so good in The Hangover.
It's so terrible from the get-go. I mean, she's a crazy cat lady that her job is once a week she makes the crossword puzzle in her local paper, and she's still living with her parents, and she's just a crazy cat lady
at 40 years old.
Well, she moved back for. Don't make me explain the fucking movie, dude. There's a reason in there you don't need to know.
Don't
the point
question.
is, she's a crazy cat lady, not making any money, living with her parents. They set her up on a blind date with with Bradley Cooper, who's a newsman. What he is, he's a news cameraman. And the minute she sees that he's he's foxy, she runs upstairs, whores herself up, like not just looks pretty, whores herself up, where she comes back down wearing the same clothes, showing off a red bra underneath her barely buttoned together shirt.
This sounds good so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm liking this.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Goes down, they go out to the car, they don't even make it out of the driveway. She just jumps on him, starts trying to fuck him right then and there. He's all about it. He's like, wow, this is great.
I would say, like, by the way, ladies, that works.
And then she starts talking about the connection they have together and practically starts picking out
that does not work.
See, and that's what happens is right when that happens, he's like, and he fakes a phone call and says, hey, baby, I'm sorry. I got to call this off. You know I'm a newsman. I got to go to work. I really wish you could come with me, but I got to go. And he takes off. And that seeds in her head and goes, he said he really wished I could come with him. And then, she makes a crossword puzzle out of every single clue in the crossword is things about him.
Is the audience supposed to side with her?
Yeah, and that's what's fucked up about this film, is that you're following this crazy stalker girl who stalks him and is crazy, but he's starting to get endeared to her because of her quirkiness. And then they're presented with the absolute perfect scenario in which the few life skills she's acquired actually comes into play. She ends up being the hero of the day, and the movie is all about accepting her for who she is.
Ladies, if you have any question about whether or not this would work, take this film and rewrite it with the genders reversed, and then tell me it's not a horror film.
It's horrifying how terrible this protagonist is.
Yeah, none of us really saw this, I guess.
No.
So what else? You got number 8?
Number 8.
Didn't see that one.
Number 8 or number 7, and this is where I'm blanking. I know we covered them, but number 7 was Planet 51.
Okay.
And Planet 51 we've already covered. Yeah. And then number 6, I Love You, Beth Cooper.
Didn't see that one
either.
You guys did not see. That was Chris Columbus humiliating himself in front of everybody. The book is apparently great, and you can hear by listening to the dialogue that the dialogue comes from a really clever script, but Chris Columbus lost the ability to tell a joke, and jokes are just timed so badly. The cast he's assembled doesn't know how to tell them. There's some really great situations that just get fucked into oblivion by bad direction and terrible acting.
You mean Hayden Panettiere is not?
She's the one person who's properly cast in the film, because she's supposed to play this cheerleader that this guy idealizes.
Really? She's playing a cheerleader?
Exactly. She's playing a cheerleader. Yes.
Apparently, because no one can tell she can't act.
Ridiculous.
Who, when you get to the end of the film, he realizes that he's idealized her and knows nothing about her, and doesn't realize that she's trying to be little Miss Prim and Proper, Miss Popular at school, and her parents are a couple of stoner, redneck, fucking metalheads.
Okay.
And
so the realization of the film is that cheerleaders aren't perfect?
The realization is in this guy who spends the whole night with his dream girl and realizing he actually knows nothing about her. And in the form of a novel, in the form of a script, it really is solid, but it's just terribly done. And I walked out angry because they didn't screen this for us, and me and my wife paid to see it, and we paid to see it on a Saturday night. And I was like, you know what? They didn't screen it for us, but this is the type of film critics like to attack. We love these high school comedies. Let's go out and see this together. It'll be adorable. And And
When
the
you get
whole
over
movie,
that.
She was like, I want a divorce.
no,
But
the
you
whole
keep on trying to be
no,
different.
No, because she was the good wife. She was sitting next to
Yeah,
me.
she stayed with you.
And she put her hand on mine and said, "Honey, it's just a movie. It's okay.
You're
There's
not
no
gonna
reason
beat
to be
me, are you?"
angry." No, there's
Like last time.
It's all right. We'll make it through this. And so she got me through that film, and I hate that movie. I mean, it's bad, but at least that film had a plot, which is why
That was based on a book, right?
Yeah, and then I move on to Postgrad, which sucks ass through a straw.
So
And
what?
then on down to-
What are you up to now? Like that was number 7, number
that,
6.
that was number 6, and then we
5.
did 5 through 2.
So
already.
what's
5 is postgrad.
Postgrad,
Number
Miss
4 is-
March,
What's the
Bride
other?
Wars,
There's
Old
number
Boss.
1 is your one
The
that you haven't
number one
talked about,
film, the worst film of the year,
which we haven't seen either. I'm pretty
after
sure.
last season.
Yeah, y'all probably don't even know what this is.
No, I don't.
I didn't.
Other than reading his Twitter, I have no idea.
It opened in 4 theaters.
Oh, is that
nationwide.
that trailer that you showed?
Wait, 4 theaters in Austin or 4 theaters in the country?
4 theaters.
Man, that movie doesn't even- come on.
4 cities. Now hold on.
That movie doesn't even count. That movie's so cheap.
Why? Okay,
So-
that movie was made. It was shot on 35 millimeter. It was released in theaters, and it was fucking awful. The minute you start discounting films and go, man, that movie doesn't count. It's terrible. What the fuck you gonna do? It's terrible. No, it is the very worst thing released in a
Now,
theater
was that
this
movie
year.
actually shot on 35? Are you
Yes,
sure about
it
that?
was shot on 35.
Are you sure about that?
millimeter.
I don't know, man.
Positive.
I saw at least 15 films this year at festivals and DVDs that were sent to me that were much worse
But-
than anything on my list, and I just don't include them because
But
they're not
because
even.
they didn't get theatrical distribution.
It feels like
This
if it's
did.
not wide release, it doesn't count.
I mean,
That's what
that-
I'm saying.
Let the man talk.
I know, but I understand what you're saying.
I get where
You're
where
not
people
the only
come from,
person who
where
said
you
this.
feel like you need to punish Hollywood in some way, shape, or form with a worst of movie. And I'm talking about this is a movie so bad it must be seen by certain people. Like there's actually a club online called the Pineapple Club, which is just people who have seen this movie that get together to talk about it because you have never seen a movie this terrible.
Damn, it's not like Vietnam vets.
There's
getting together.
actually
there are 4 to 5 minute dialogue free scenes in this with animation sequences where the animation was done by people who don't understand animation, where it's literally like terrible things on a screen that's been duped, and then we fly back and forth through a 3D modeler that's supposed to illustrate psychic powers, and you're like, what the fuck is this? There's dialogue in the movie that I swear to God somebody's like, oh well, I'm from this town, Tarrington. Oh, I've never been to that town, but I've driven through that town. And that's like that's
Okay, you're making everybody want to see this.
No,
You know
there's
what?
let me say this. This film cost $6 million to make, supposedly. $5 million. And there is a very considerably valid conspiracy theory going on that these guys are just con artists who got so here's our script, here's the movie we're going to make, and their whole con going into it from the beginning was just to be able to take all that extra money and run with it.
to hire,
you know what?
hire an inept kid that didn't know how much stuff cost.
From what
Yeah.
you guys are saying, it sounds like they had enough money left over to make a Bionic Man.
And I'm not
what I'm
convinced
saying.
that this was shot on 35 millimeter. I'm looking at the trailer. Like
No,
you
you
showed
can
it to
tell
me
by
before.
the grain. And I know people who have seen it who are film guys, like who that's what they do for a living.
I would say this is 16 before I say 35. I've seen this trailer.
It's because they're operating with one light. There's not a real lighting crew on this set to actually light out the shadows.
Tell people what the movie's about.
This is like something you see on Adult Swim.
About
Yeah,
the
tell-
movie. Okay, let me tell you that the movie is kind of about what I'm about to tell you, and I say kind of because at some point in the movie it starts becoming a dream sequence, and then 45 minutes later they wake up from the dream sequence, and we're not sure entirely what it's about. But essentially, the basic premise is there's a serial killer killing people in a town, and by town I mean in the basement of this this office building that they shot the movie in with sheets and paper, and there's a serial killer of some sort who's killing some people, and it turns out one of the characters is getting images of the killer killing people, and in the dream sequence the guy creates a chip that they can use, that they can plug into their brain so that he can see into her thoughts. And then they wake up and it turns out the chip was all bullshit. So then they just it turns out she really could see into the you following along.
You know what? You've lost
and
me
I'm
already.
telling the story better than the film tells it. It's so
Seriously, dude, like halfway through everything you were saying, my brain was going chocolate rain.
it is so inept.
Oh,
And
the
thing
kitty
is,
wants another cookie.
it is literally the single worst film of the decade. decade, if not the last 2 decades, that's ever played in a theater. I'm not talking. I mean, you play this against any festival film that Cyrus can pull out of his memory banks. It will not be worse than this movie. This movie, people put money behind it and put it into theaters. And when people asked, "Is this a joke?" they were offended. They're like, "What do you mean? No, of course not. It's a joke." The director stopped taking interview requests after everyone kept calling and saying, "What's the gag here? What's the joke?" Because he thought he made a real movie, and it's fucking dog
This sounds
shit.
almost as bad as Southland Tales.
Why you keep coming on me? You're still mad about that Paranormal Activity
Coming on.
thing.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking I wasn't leaving it alone, but I was like thinking, God
Coming
damn,
down on me.
You can come together all you like, guys, but that's your podcast.
Are we going to be one of those type of podcasts?
No, you know what? I'm to argue this. Maybe I don't know enough about the film, but it just doesn't look like it's a movie that's so bad, so cheap, and it was.
Why
released
would
in
you even consider
Why
it?
would you? Yeah.
Okay, I'm confused. I thought this was like the podcast where we talk about our best of movies, not where we mention the movies we hated and everybody else told us how we were wrong for hating those movies. I mean, he's like to say like, yeah, dude, I've seen it and it looks bad, but not like the worst
We
thing.
didn't say he was wrong for hating it. We just said he was wrong for putting it on his list. You, on the other hand, are wrong.
Yeah.
This is true.
No, I'll have to look at it. I mean, I don't know.
It's the thing is it was a movie. It was a challenge for me.
Where did you watch it?
I watched it on DVD. A buddy of mine bought the DVD from the website. It's sold on Amazon. It meets all the
Oh
qualifications.
no,
for
I heard the
Razzies.
theatrical version was different.
No, it's not. I know this because it was literally a challenge where I was compiling my stuff for the worst of, and my friends say, "You got to see After Last Season, or else you're not writing a worst list." And I'm like, "Dude, I've never even heard of that movie." He's like, "Yeah, you did. Remember us talking about that a few months back?" It's like, "Oh, that thing? It played in what, like 4 cities?" It's like, "Yeah, we saw it in a theater. You didn't." And I was like, "Oh shit, the gauntlet has been thrown." And I said, "All right, motherfucker, bring me that DVD."
Who was making this claim, incidentally? I'm just curious who was arguing with you.
Luke, Brian, John
it?
Golson.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
These people have all seen this film. Brian Udovich, who we know
I would
from Fantastic
No,
Fest.
I know those guys. I'm just curious.
Nick
to
Robin-
know
in
who
fact,
was
if you Google After Last Season review, you end up with a Nick Robinson review.
Who loved
his
it?
buddies.
The one guy
Well,
who
he
talked-
loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it in the same way that I hate it. I mean, he walked out astounded by how inept this film was. And I know 24 people who have seen this fucking film, and it's like, there's no way I can get away with making a worst list without at least seeing this film. And once I saw it, I understood why all of them were in love and loathing it at the same time. You have never seen a film this ineptly made. I guarantee you that there is not a Spill member listening to this that couldn't make a better film than this, that couldn't take their parents' video camera and make something more compelling.
Even
than
HAL
what I watched.
2000?
Even HAL 9000.
You hear that?
Make a video more compelling for an hour and a half than this dog shit.
Well, you
This is
hear that,
literally-
Jedi Master Dylan? He has thrown down the gauntlet. He has made
and
the
Cyrus
challenge.
promises to screen all of them for me before they come to me, so I don't see a single good one. So send them.
Wait,
in.
what?
Well, you know something. I mean, I'm looking at this trailer here because you showed it to me before, and that it is bad. I mean, it is terrible if they managed to make a 35 millimeter movie look like 16 millimeter
It's
video.
so bad that they called each theater individually, and rather than asking them to ship it back, asked them to burn the print.
Yeah, because
it was cheaper.
It was cheaper to do that. They didn't want the prints back. The company that made the film.
Yeah, no, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, no.
The thing is we now have 2 confirmed destroyed prints. There are still 2 prints that it hasn't been confirmed whether they're destroyed. So
And Carlyle has both of them.
No.
Tim
one
League
of them,
probably
one of them
does.
might be here in Austin. There might actually be an existing print of this film.
Come on,
which
somebody's got to make a DVD of that.
Well, there's already a DVD. They're selling the DVD. It's $20. In fact, several people read my review on Ain't It Cool, and they're like, "How can I find it?" I'm like, "It's on the website." And they go and they're like, "Oh, fuck that, man. They want $20.
Yeah.
No way." But yeah, no, you can find it afterlastseason.com. You can buy it off Amazon. It's $20.
Yeah, if I could talk them down to 20 cents.
I just can't believe we've entered a point in our culture where by saying something is the worst, you're actually promoting it. I mean, that's where we're at
you're
now.
right.
I was fine with that. I mean, it's literally one of those things where people ask me why I wrote about that, and it's like, look, real people made this movie, and as long as people who are buying it from them and putting money in their pocket and helping pay their bills are buying it for the reason that they know they're watching one of the worst things ever, I'm fine with that transaction happening. And what happened instantly once I started talking about it is people started Googling it. Friends of mine who had reviewed it had record traffic days on their sites because they're like, holy shit, people are all Googling this fucking review, and people wanted to know about it. And you know what? This is the room. I mean, for those.
No, that's what I was.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was thinking about. Tommy Wiseau's The Room, which I saw this year, which, as far as I know, came out this year, and I'm thinking
No,
like
2003.
Did it come out? Oh, that movie's been around since 2003.
It's been around,
okay.
but it was one of those things that people discovered and got passed around.
I think when finally, because in L.A. it passed around a lot, and when Adult Swim finally picked it up and showed it on April Fool's night,
and
when
people
it's like
were pissed because they had heard how funny it is, and nobody told them, look, this is not a movie you watch alone. I mean, after last season, I watched it the worst way possible. I needed to see this. Because I was doing it for review purposes, I did not watch it with friends and beer. If I ever watch it again, there will be lots of beer and lots of friends, and we will be able to laugh at the ridiculous bullshit.
Well, let's be fair. The worst way possible is you go in thinking it's going to be something good. You take your wife and you pay full admission for both of you to go see it in a theater.
So I love you, Beth Cooper moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. Well, hey, you know what? Okay. So, I ain't going to argue with that. I hadn't seen the movie. I don't know that much about it. Like I said,
You guys want to talk some shit? I've still got the DVD.
We don't want to see it.
No,
I'm not one of those.
No, wait a minute. You know,
I want to see it now.
you know me. You know I love bad shit. I'll have that in my collection.
No,
so
I
I want to see it.
See, the thing is when you get it, you're going to laugh your ass off, and you're going to fucking put it right next to Squirm.
Oh yeah,
Bad shit.
proudly.
Bad shit requires a decade to like sit and germinate, and if it's still worth
It's
seeing,
like wine.
No, I'm serious. If it's still worth seeing, people will still be talking about it 10 years later. Like, oh, you never seen that? But otherwise, it's just shit, and it's forgettable, and it's not worth seeing. And I'll wait that long. This is one of those ones I think I'm gonna wait.
But man, sorry, sometimes shit has some corn in it. Some of the best corn you ever had.
Or nuts.
Really?
And you can recycle. Anyway, man, look, that's our worst stuff right there.
Yeah, it ended with a poop joke appropriately enough.
Which you made, I did not. Which is what made me like say, hey, we need to get the fuck on out of here.
So all of you can chime in with your worst stuff list, or tell us how full of shit we are.
Or
for the
you
movies.
specifically.
Well, no, you specifically.
or me.
Because
Captain Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, I predict that out of all of us, you are going to get it the most.
He's also going to get the most amount of supporters, too. Of people coming, yeah, Leon, tell him that movie sucks. And I'll be like, defriend.
all I can say is, bring it.
All right, then. That is our worst stuff. We still have one more podcast to go, and we'll do it later. And that is what we thought some of the best movies of the decade.
Hell yeah.
So
Which
yeah.
might require some research first.
Really? I think we're just going to sit around and talk about The Dark Knight for an hour and a half. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah.
There'll be some surprises in there. I already have a few that's going to be sure to bring some arguments.
Uh-oh.
No, you play it safe every time.
No, I do not.
We'll see,
Whatever.
won't we?
Yeah.
Whatever, Captain Matinee.
You can. Yeah, right.
Oh, you know what? I got to back up Leon on that one. You have become Captain Matinee.
No, and I had to back myself up. Who's the motherfuckers that gave?
Yeah, because you're the only one.
I'm Matinee tonight when I gave a movie
You're the
like
only way.
Oh Jesus Christ! We ain't even talking about anything.
Aw,
right here.
that's not being mean. Let's just say this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're getting out of here while you guys jump on me.
No, I'm just saying let's save it for the next podcast to be mean to him. But if we do it now, he's just going to cut us off.
Exactly. Like now. Well, I guess you wonder why I asked you all back here today, gentlemen.
Has there been a murder?
No. Well, you murdered that top 9 list, or top 10 list, whatever the fuck we did. You did like a top 2, Cyrus. And
you mean worst?
You mean the hour
worst?
and a half worst of list thing we did, where we finished after an hour and a half, and you're like, we didn't do enough.
We still didn't get all of it in.
I have to add an epilogue.
Yes.
Hey, I got mine in.
No, you and I got ours in. You missed number 8 on yours.
Or something like that.
You missed something, and you just wanted to do 2. You just came in and said, I'm going to fuck all y'all up. I don't even have
No. Now, to be fair, he came in and said, look, I don't have my list, but I'm sure y'all are going to list things that I would put on my list.
Yeah. Okay.
So me having a list would be redundant.
I wasn't even aware till like a week after we had recorded it that we were going to go back and do an epilogue, or that you were concerned.
It wasn't until I listened to it and how many people want to hear a worst of list, so I could hear after everybody listened to it. Well, I didn't hear number 8 for Carlyle, and Cyrus only had 2. I didn't get. That's not a real
Dear
worst
God,
of list.
I haven't gotten enough after an hour and a half of talking about the worst movies made this year.
Are you kidding, Colston? I going for 4 hours and people still want more.
Oh,
so, yeah.
no. I know how that. We've been getting hit by that real hard this week.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, how many weeks ago did we record that?
I think 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
I think it was,
Because I'm thinking, like, if this serves as any kind of guide of telling people what not to rent, they've already rented half of them by now.
So let's go ahead and finish the worst of 2007.
Okay, I tell you what. Yeah, exactly. We knew it would take a long time, so we started in 2007. We are that clairvoyant. You tell you what. You want to go down your list in case we forget something, or that list is different.
Sure. Number 10, Street Fighter. Number 9, Year One. Number 8, All About Steve. Number 7, Planet 51. Number 6, I Love You, Beth Cooper. I hate that you're making me think about these movies again. Number 5, motherfucking Postgrad. Number 4,
The sequel to Postgrad.
Motherfucking Postgrad.
Miss March. Number 3, Pride Wars. Number 2, Old Dogs. And number 1, After Last Season.
Very good. Now for
Is that
you, my
Postgrad?
man.
Is that like the American Pie sequels, or they just get dirtier and more pointless? You know,
Motherfucking ass-licking Postgrad.
Well, motherfucking Ghost Postgrad is that was the movie where she Ghost Grad actually.
Grad.
It's a Bill Cosby movie. It's a sequel to something.
Horrible thought. Well, obviously I had to come up with this list after all you guys, and I did not have the privilege of sitting through every bad movie that even potentially bad this
I
year.
wouldn't call it a privilege.
Yeah, I was gonna say privilege.
So-
Really? You need another thesaurus.
He's the one who goes and runs to do it every year and gets all excited about it. It's a privilege on some level, however twisted and evil it might be.
Well, it is fun to talk about.
But I thought I would just give, rather than a 10 list, it's just more of a sort of this is why this movie sucked. Just
Okay.
straight up in an easy definition, make it fast to go through.
Okay.
The Proving That Woman Must Crave Abusive Relationships award goes to New Moon, because clearly that's all that movie is about.
Bella is a whiny do-nothing.
I'm telling you, you sure a woman wrote these things? I think it was, Ike Turner.
Wait till you get before. That's gonna be the fun one.
However, the tie for the most anti-woman film is a tie between Bride Wars and Ugly Truth. I can't even decide which one hates woman more than those.
Wow.
I mean, just mean.
Didn't see
Bride
either
Wars.
one of those.
Yeah, well, be glad about it. Yeah, it's probably Bride Wars.
Yeah, you pulled a Neo this whole year.
Yeah,
Now-
I missed a lot of the worst ones.
The bad enough to become a must-see anyway award goes to Street Fighter. Because I'm
Hells
sorry,
yeah.
Chris Klein is so fucking funny in this movie. I don't even know if he knows what's going on or he was doing it on purpose. But man, I'd watch that movie again just to see how terrible he is.
I can't 100% verify it, but I got a letter from somebody who worked on the crew, or claiming that they worked on the crew, saying that, yeah, what happened was that film came together so quickly, and everybody looked at the script and said, look, this is crap, but they're paying. And they said, look, let's just have fun and do it campy.
Indeed.
But
And
that said,
yeah.
Chris Klein apparently does the commentary on the disc as if he were performing Shakespeare. So I don't know if he's still got his tongue firmly in cheek and he thinks that's funny and he's just much more clever than everyone else, or he really is playing it up and
Or how about just don't
thinks he
make a
did a good
shitty
job.
movie? That bad.
That's funny because we always saw him as the new Keanu Reeves, but maybe he's the new David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Hey, you say don't make a shitty movie, but come on, we've all done jobs where we have to take a check. We've all done shit we don't want to do because there's enough zeros after.
I think I would still be like Street Fighter, McDonald's. Where's my McDonald's hat and apron?
You a goddamn
I get to make out with this hot chick and be treated as a star and have my own trailer, or I can go flip burgers with a semi-retarded kid who's part of a work program.
Yeah.
This is like an intervention. Thanks for calling me on my bullshit.
as my dad would say, Leon, you a lying sack of shit.
Well, while he was punching you, but to be fair.
Yeah.
My Destroying My Childhood Memories, even though the original movies turned out to be utter shit as well, award goes to Race to Witch Mountain, which I'm sorry. It was awful. I sat there in that whole movie going, oh my God, I can't believe
Thought
this
you
is
liked that movie.
steadily
Yeah, I
worse.
thought you did too.
No, I was the one that
No.
kind of liked it. I mean,
okay.
it's not. I don't think it deserves to even be on a worst of
Yeah, I
list.
gotta say, I thought it was
did-
bad, but it just
But the
didn't even come
originals-
close. Okay.
It totally was.
The
like,
originals
all
were terrible.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I went afterwards, watched the originals I loved as a kid. It's like, wow, these are even worse.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I'm going to stick with my memories of them as a kid, which was great.
You kind of have to.
Yeah. The Mean-Spirited Comedy Award for Special Offensiveness goes to Observe and Report. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. That movie just... I just felt a little nauseous and dirty walking out of that film. Like
It makes me so happy to hear you guys say that, because that was that film where I walked out of and I'm like, man, those guys are going to fucking love it, and it is so not my movie.
No.
We all hate it.
It's a fine line. Like if you're gonna be offensive, you have to balance it by being funny. And if everybody who gets in trouble for making offensive remarks, they're never funny. If you say something actually genuinely funny, people go like, "Oh, that guy. Okay, I'll let it slide." But not this.
Yeah. So go ahead.
My annual franchise killer award goes to X-Men Origins Wolverine. Wow! How did you even think? What were you doing?
Hey,
Come on,
I like
man.
your approach to these. This is good.
Amnesia bullets.
What the hell are you doing? This is
Amnesia
like this
bullets.
huge thing, and you totally killed it dead, this franchise. Oh my God.
You don't think they did it with X-Men 3?
40, no, because
No.
X-Men 3 still had some life left in it. You were like, okay, we could forgive that and move on. You could do X-Men 4, and we'd be like, all right, fine, just, skip the third one. But no, this was, no one wants to see these actors play these roles again in film.
And yet Spider-Man is the one that gets the
I know,
reboot.
yeah, Spider-Man does.
It's like, you know what? We don't think these Spider-Man movies were good enough, and we think they cost too much. So we're going to make a cheaper, better one.
The absolute crap with people talking in English accents that some critics loved anyways award goes to Bright Star. Absolutely the most tedious piece of fucking shit. I am sorry. I never was the world's biggest fan of Jane Campion in the first place or these type of films, but I was wide awake for it. I was ready to like it, and I, at the end, was like, wow, it was Twilight with English accents.
Damn.
Sorry.
I know, shit.
Useless.
Scathing.
The straightforward, no other way to say it, but what the fuck award goes to Gentlemen Broncos. And I think we covered that
Oh
one.
yeah. Yes.
That was, what? Huh? What?
Fuck that movie.
Yeah. No, that was more like a true fuck you.
Damn. I thought maybe I'd try to go see it.
No, fuck you. You go see it. Leah, you stay away from that movie. Okay. You stay away from that movie.
All right, Dad.
Let me tell you something. There's a scene in which Mike White has a power mullet and a white
We already
sweater.
mentioned this in the last recording.
And he has a snake shit diarrhea down his
We
shirt.
mentioned that in the last recording.
Except he was thinking again about going. I needed to remind him.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, amnesia bullets.
Amnesia bullets. A snake shits on somebody. Instant pass.
And it looks like Taco Bell bean sauce.
Ew, I was going to have Taco Bell later.
I'm sorry.
Not now.
I did you a favor.
Check your mailbox.
People will be like, I'm going to eat it anyway. I don't care what Korey says. and a snake comes up to the window. May I help you?